I think of something like even broilers right now, and what's going on with broilers, and how that may even affect like
What's
Mayberry
going
and
on
them
with
people.
broilers? What's actually going on with broilers?
That's a very, very good question, because I'm seeing a lot of, well,
You have to
Preston
ask the
shared
people that
some
got to go
interesting
to the private briefing.
Crazy to me.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, what? Yeah,
do you know that
it's
the
like,
stock,
how that happened?
The stock, before those articles came out, the day, like if you look on the trading in the stock, the day of the next day, the day the article came out, which would have explained that a private briefing happened that day. Like on that day when the article came out, I said a private briefing happened the day before. There was heavier trading in the stock at a much lower price. I mean, you saw the article and you saw the fear being strewn around the article. I think JBG is managing what I think they know has to come. They must know there's a lot of headaches to come from what how their stances. I can tell it, and I think they're managing it fairly well. I did not like I didn't like that private.
I was like,
briefing.
how is that legal?
It's not.
Like,
it's not. You can actually face lawsuits for it in another market. Who is going to sue the leagues in Jamaica?
That's the thing. Like, I guess with the activists,
it is further proof of how little retail is thought of.
Yeah,
because you can't
I'm pretty
do
sure
that.
the powers that be were in that private, meeting.
Yeah. I heard someone explain the reason. They were saying that someone that was at the briefing, they were saying that it's because the kind of questions that people typically ask at the shareholder meetings, and then they're worried about them essentially asking those kind of silly questions in a way, and then how that perception could be. That was the reason the person gave.
You can't tell me that the paint is. You can't tell me the paint is silly. I don't give a damn what you think is my house. If I own even one share, is my company. You can think my questions are silly, and you might want to manage my questions, but the law has certain bounds within which it allows you to do that. You can't think just because. Have you ever seen those AGMs, especially a couple of years ago with Leachin, where people are at the AGM asking him about them 1991 bank book? He's pissed, but he's there. That's how it works. If I'm a shareholder, this is a shareholder meeting, you have to face shareholder questions. The law doesn't say an idiot can't be a shareholder. It says you have to treat all shareholders equally. That means including the idiots, including the fully done people like us. It's just how it works. So you can't, I saw it as well. And I know that I can tell that it's a stressful situation for a corporation to manage. If you understand some of the implications from it, there are more questions than answers. I actually don't know what has happened yet. We see 2 directors I think have left, or at least one has left. Obviously, I also understand it's a
the thing is, once I saw there was a notice. Once I saw the notice, and it said that when I saw the last name, I should pull up the notice.
As in Stephen Levy?
Yeah. Yes. And I was like, wait, he's family. So that's serious. Yeah. This is a notice that came out February 28th. It said Jamaica Broilers Group, resignation of a director. And it says Stephen Levy. And I'm like, wait, isn't he, what is he, the brother of the CEO or the president?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, if whatever it is, it's serious.
So for me, when I saw that last line, we pray God's blessings upon him and his family. I'm like, that's how Christians. That's how I don't want to say that publicly. That's how certain things are said.
Yeah,
that's how certain things are said. I saw it. I was like, oh wow. Also, it's in family that said that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
he's been on the board, because when you look at it, he's been appointed to the board since 2013.
Since August, that's it. Been with the company since 2002.
Yeah, man. It's a family company. It's a family-run company, and there is obvious. It's obvious that whatever it is a very stressful thing, and I empathize with them for that. But you can't have disparate information going to some members of the public and not to others, right? You didn't call a press conference.
Someone, as you said, like someone could have been there and them say, yo, I go sell when they're at the briefing or whatever, depending on the time the briefing came out, and they would have had information ahead of someone else. And it's not even like the other person could have just read an article or done. There's literally nothing you could do unless you know someone.
Well,
so I guess it is a bit.
Well, it's not even a bit off. It's, how would I put it? I don't have to put it anyway. The article that I'm speaking of says, what was that? I don't know if this was it.
What's the title of the article? I can probably pull it
I don't
up.
think it's the one that I'm seeing here. Where this is about a private briefing. That's mentioned in more than
There's one written
one.
by David.
Yes, but I don't think it's that very first one, right? What I want to point out here is the date of the article and the share movement on the share movement and the trading on that day.
Could it say Thursday? That was the article came out March 28th. So
March
that would
28th?
be March 27th. This job. The article came out March 28th, and this is saying Thursday, like the private briefing to brokers and media on Thursday. March 28th was a Friday, so I guess it's really saying
yesterday.
The day before. Yeah. I don't know why it said Thursday. Yeah. So that'd be the 27th.
And the 27th is when the report came out that they made that huge loss.
But the report came out. Well, the report did come out in the morning. Sorry. But I believe. What was it? What was the head of that article? What was the title of the article? Repair job.
Repair job. Yeah.
Okay. And that came out on the 28th, as you said. And that's a Friday. And they say that the private briefing happened on the Thursday. Now, look at the level of trading on the Thursday.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, it was increasing from even Thursday the day before, though.
At 30.71. The day before that, it was 34. So it's like technically, if the briefing happened during the trading time, you could have sold it, some shares possibly at 30. I mean, you would have seen the report, but then you'd be like, wait, what exactly is going on? And the thing is, I don't think the report really...
Let's clear that up also.
Oh, what time did it come out? Oh.
Yeah. Well, it did come out. It came out 8:28 a.m. So it came out pre-market.
Oh, okay.
I hope that's it. I hope that they're covered their bases in that, because and JBG is like top level of the market. I don't know what the real definition of blue chip is, but they definitely fall into it, whatever it is, right?
The analysts love it.
Yeah. It's probably why it doesn't go anywhere in the share price. But yeah, it's a business you can understand heavily, and I think they must be so frustrated because of Jamaica's tariff situation has allowed them to prosper very heavily for decades.
Real.
And I don't think that the tariffs that we have are going to last. I don't think they can last. And so I was very happy about their US operations because of what to me it implies in terms of continuity of the company post tariffs falling, post the chicken tariffs in Jamaica falling, which I think is just a matter of time. At least under the old WHO arrangements, it was only a matter of time. But hey, in this new Trumpian world, anything can happen now, right? But hey, look what's happening there. It's just really a speeding up of it. It kind of has to drop, I think. So the US operations, I think, were a good bit of continuity for the company there. And then to see that anything has happened there, but then I wonder what has happened. What exactly has happened?
That's the biggest question. Because why are you making this huge loss? And why is it from I think it was from the US company. I can't remember what the report said. I believe they said that
it is the US company that, if you look at the breakdown of the US side, and the implied problems with expense management, as they put it, is from the US side of things. So there's implication of some impropriety. But that's a crime in the US, and it's a US company. So I wonder how that's working.
We see another Dolphin Cove situation.
No, worse.
A lot of fair
situation.
This is like jail. Worse. Yeah, this is by far worse.
It's like federal, it's like jail.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is. I don't know what it is. So nobody has said what it is. We haven't seen what it is yet either. I mean, and the audited has to show it. But the audited isn't due until a little further down. And then the question becomes, I don't think it happened now. How did it pass previous audits?
Yeah, that was another thing to me. Because our stuff going to be restated.
That's a major question. How did it pass previous audits? What exactly is it, whatever it is, and how did it pass previous audits? Major, like there's so much here, but I think also this to me is a good example of that Jamaican public's respect of well-established names, household names. The Leavys have for a long time done business also in a very openly Christian way. I remember being young and reading their annual report, the paper version, and see them talk about God in there, you know, they end everything with the Jesus will help us, God will help us. So I think that they've built up a cachet of respect. That's why nobody really wants to press them.
Yeah,
and that's good that I kind of cachet because
I have a lot of respect for Chris Levy, because I've actually, when I was doing things with Moreland's a Christian camp, I was a counselor, and so I actually went to his house, and real stand-up guy, real family man. So I can see that that positive energy exuding from him into like every aspect, like business, all of that. So it does. Yeah, it's really sad to see something like this. And we still have no idea what it is. That's the worst part.
But the implications that there's family, and that also I understand must be hard. Yeah. I mean, I have two brothers too, and I love them, but I always like them, so I understand that too.
I fully understand that.
So some of them sometimes they can make them be stressed, and I'm sure I'm a bit the same for them. But being a big brother, I can understand this. But even if this wasn't on the internet, there's a lot more I would say. But I understand it. I hope they figure it out. And I just want, no matter what else, that situation is, you can't, I'm not saying that they did this, but there can't be any disparate points between your shareholders. You have to, I am for the market. You have to tell everybody one time. Better you call a press conference, lay it out, stream it, and then
you only let certain people ask questions.
No, you can't.
Other
do
people
that
at least can go there.
You can't do that. You can't do that either. But you could stream. There's no requirement for you to stream, for you to take questions at an earnings call. It's just at an AGM. You can't go around it at the AGM. Although some companies try, book it at certain times, some convenient times, or make it not streamed. Or you know, you ask 10 questions and they take 2 questions and then done it quick. But even that, as much as that's a stretching of the law, is still following the law and the rules. I think they should have streamed it.
They did stream another briefing though. Like I think they did one with Mayberry, maybe like a day after or something.
They did, but again, it's a day after, right? And you look at the trading volume. You look at JBJ, you check the trading volume and the trading incidents, like the amount of trades, the average trades. Remember, this meeting would have happened on the. So the average trades from the start of the year 2025, the average daily trades from the start of the year to March 26 was 23 trades a day. And on the 27th, there were 68 trades, and the article came out the 28th. So that's kind of disparate, right? No, again, as we said, the results came out the morning of the 27th. So, and the results do speak to that term I use. It's not my term; it's their term. Corporate management identified a number of issues related to expense management and operational controls in our U.S. operations. I spent some time in audits. I know what that means. And I'm
sure Barry isn't happy, because if you meant this is now, I think their second largest holding.
That's what I was saying about Barry companies, like.
And then also, I think they have pledged the shares and something, or like they had margin the shares essentially. So
who, Mayberry?
MJE, I think it was like one of the loans or whatever they did. So yeah, it's a big part of their portfolio. This is taking a hit, and we don't really know. Like one of the things that was said was that I think one of the articles actually alluded to possible like more losses or something. So it's like, okay, it's almost like a situation where I was looking at it with remember, like we were saying, Dolphin Cove, and then like there was that initial dip, but then certain information came out. The chairman, well, I guess at the time, previous chairman was saying, "Yo, I'd buy the company. I can find the money." And like I knew the Q4 would likely be bad. They make a loss every quarter 4. So it's like you've seen that second dip. So even for me, looking at broilers, I was mentioning, maybe someone wants to defend the price of this, but I was like, should I go in now? But then if the Q4, if there were whatever their next quarter is even a worse loss, and then there's more articles coming out over time, it could even drop more. So I was like saying, And when I looked at it, I was like, nah, that risk. I'm not comfortable with that risk. It could be profit for, someone who's comfortable with it. Just like we're mentioning the TransJam thing. Like I saw that profit point and the same thing I was talking about. I think we were saying that, when it's, when the initial offer sale comes out, people would panic. And then if the dividend notice comes out, you can make money there. But I was like, I don't really feel comfortable with that. At the end of the day, it's not like, it's just, my choice. I didn't want to do it and someone did it. They made money. Good for them. And it's just, you have to know, I guess, what you want or what you're you
don't have to win every
race. You don't have to bet on every horse.
Yeah, you just have to win the race that you're in, and you don't have to enter every race. Or as everybody loves Buffett, how Buffett says is that I think it's something about swinging. Like I don't have to swing after every ball, right? I just have to hit the ones that I swing after.
Oh yeah. There's a good analogy. He was saying that if you technically say in your lifetime you could only make 5 investments, most people would make much better investment decisions if they could only pick buy 5 companies.
Yes.
And because you would literally spend all the time, if you just had way less choices versus you can just buy, sell. It's like, versus just, this is the only, or imagine if you could only buy one company for the rest of your life.
Then, what I think he wanted to put across there is the idea of the amount of effort and weight that you should put on a buy decision. You need to have a really good reason to buy, to enter the arena of a stock, right? I cannot be hurt by TransJamaica losses because I sold TransJamaica. Anything could happen to it. Of course, it means that if it spike, I don't get any other TransJamaica benefits, but I'm fine with that. There's 100 more opportunities out there, and there will be 100 more after that. But the second I go into something, I'm now at the risk of the thing. So I should be very, very, very careful about how I enter the risk of any investment. So I respect that move with JBG. For me, I already had JBG as something I don't need to go into. It's a $35 stock. It's not going anywhere. It's a $35 stock. It's spent the time at $35. It is, of course, in my view, it's under, I have it tagged as a berry stock also. And the Mayberry Forum, I believe, I have a little group meme where I think Gary Peer, I don't know if it's that he was speaking about. Well, he said, buy. Because, it depends on what your time horizon is. If you think whatever has happened with Jamaica Broilers, they're still Jamaica Broilers. Next year, they're good, right? They might have to take a hit. But remember when they took the hit to hit? They took the hit to hit, and what happened? They kept trucking, right? Hits come in business. Is how you deal with them that matters. And I don't think that they're necessarily in a bad place to deal with them. But I see the share price at 26. It has not been at that level since the last 3 years. Maybe 2022 is the last time it was at this level.
Time machine.
Mid 2022 is the last time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a... it has not touched these levels in a long time. 2020 was at 24.
Jeez.
For you to go back again before that, you have to get to 2018. It's a hell of a thing. I hope, and this is the investor talking, I'm seeing what they're showing here. The audited are due. They know that there's a big box to come in the audited. They're probably going to have to restate some prior years. They're going to have to answer some hard questions.
Wait, there's a should show. So in one of the same article, there's this same one that said, I think it's written by David about a repair job. On Thursday, Christopher Levy declined to give additional comment on possible restatements to its prior audited numbers.
Shout out to David. He has been helping me to make profit on the market now for years. Shout out to David. This article too is
Imagine this with shorting.
Hey, listen, convince a broker to start offering it widely. But that's who has to take on the risk, really. And they'd have to put up together a system to distribute the risk, because you don't want them to have to actually take on the risks. It's a system of you really selling both sides of the risk to different parties. So I could see, I don't know who would offer puts on JBG, but you don't even need, I should say you don't need shorting. You do need shorting. Any market that doesn't have shorting is a ticking time bomb. It can blow up if you don't have shorting. If you do have shorting, it's the market won't blow up. Read JBG and idea around it. I know there's such a big hit to come that I wouldn't necessarily go in yet. I'm hoping that it will fall more. I don't know if it will be allowed to fall more, but I am hoping that it falls more. But even this price is a great price in my view to go in. The truth is, I don't want to go because I'm not in. I don't want to jeopardize future Randy with handicapping myself by laying out anything too clearly. If you think JBG dead, cool. but I'm sure they have some big hits to come, and I'm sure there's gonna be more eyebrow raising moments to come, especially after the audited comes out. Yeah, especially after the audited comes out, and if there's restating of prior quarters, which there must be. In my view, there must be. I hope I'm wrong, but there must be. And that raises significant questions. But even with all of that, let's say, God forbid, but let's say that employees thief and them embezzle money from the company, and let's say hypothetically that happened, and it's terrible, and there's a whole little stealing ring, and they were selling eggs on the side because eggs cost a whole heap in the US, blah, blah, blah. And it blow up JBG books. You think we're going to buy chicken in 2027?
Yeah, one of the things I was just looking at, the buy queue, you realize it's not, the queue can change at any time, but there's not that many, it only takes 1.5 million to part the stock down and send it to 22. It doesn't take 2.5 mil to go to 20. So yeah, this will be interesting. This could actually be a decent DCA stock over the next
no doubt
3 years.
In my view, anyway.
Yeah, or at least
in
the
my
next
view,
year
3 to 5. Yeah. In fact, even longer. Again, they sell chicken in Jamaica. They sell to KFC.
See,
right. And they have an arm in the US. If the WTO, if the if the chicken import rules in Jamaica change tomorrow, my bet would be on them, JBG, to survive the most, because they have an arm in the US where they can ship. Everybody be shipping cheap chicken to Jamaica. We saw the effect of one container on the beach, cheap chicken, right? But JBG is able to send containers to the wharf from their US arm, so you would still be able to get the same brand that at a much lower price because of the US arm. Would the profits be lower? Maybe not, who knows. But I would bank on JBG to survive above every other chicken company in Jamaica. And since they're listed, they're the strongest in my view. I hope the other guys come to the market to Caribbean Broilers.
I highly doubt that.
Well, pressure bust pipe,
That is also true.
Yeah. Trump bust more if that protection falls.
If that, that is true.
They're under serious stress. They're under serious stress. I would, for selfish me, I would want the protection to fall, because one, people get chicken for cheaper, and two, it would force them to the market. Come to the market. Come to the market and then figure it out. I'd love if they came to the market. Love it.
Yeah. So the thing is, with something Preston and I talk about, and we say it's regular, is it's always good in terms of opportunities when companies go through these negative times, because as you said, it's a time machine, Preston. We're going back to COVID days where we'd never see this price before.
Pre-COVID.
And yes, of course, pre-COVID, and of course it's a bad thing for the company, but you're listed and there's
it's not really a bad thing for the company either.
It's better you fix it up, you mean?
Company don't care about the share
finding
price.
this out 10 years ago.
Oh, well, the way Randy says it, true. Company don't care about share price.
Company don't care about the share price. The company don't know what the share price is. The company literally cannot buy its own shares. Any shares the company buys under the law, the company has to cancel. The share price is not, it has nothing to do with the company. The share price is us retailing, us investors, not just retail. The share price is us investors' view of what the company is worth. That is a different thing from what the company is actually
worth
doing. No, but no, this is what the company is worth. Because think about it, you don't determine your worth.
Oh, yeah, true.
I can think that you are worth whatever. It doesn't mean that you're actually worth whatever. No, you can create value that's at a level that I am wrong, because somebody else see it and they're like, wow, this thing is worth $1 million, but I thought that was worth $10. But that doesn't mean when I said you're worth $10 that you're worth $10. That's just me selling the shares at $10. Somebody else grab it at $10, and then next month when it's at $1 million, then bingo, and I get hurt. But again, that has nothing to do with the thing itself. So JBG numbers will have, I'm sure, some effect. And I hope that's why I'm hoping that it tanks the share price, because I want and I would love that would make me buy it. That's probably the only reason that I'd buy it, because I don't expect any rapid increases in it. Not that I don't
profit or anything.
Yeah, I don't expect great cap gains from it. But pressure bus 5, yeah, man. I love when bad things happen to companies. You're not going to kill a company and let them go through it. Can you imagine 5 years from now? Can you imagine Kintyre with funding? Think about that. Think about that. As we laugh and we've seen the things that Tyrone has gone through. But think about it. How many companies, whether or not they're even real companies, are that great? How many companies has Kintyre bought in the last 3 years?
They are pretty aggressive. Very, very
Pressure
aggressive.
bus pipe. They man buy Seven's restaurant. I feel if him stop at the stoplight for too long and the windshield wiper that them try buy them to and list them. Pressure bus pipe. But yo, that's the thing. Who else is doing it? Because the people that have the money not doing it.
That's true. Him
They're not doing it. Yeah, they're not doing it.
Man, just
and they're doing it sort of. They're doing it sort of. Not that brought it back there. Look at Lumber. Not Lumber. Well, Lumber. Look at HPC. Look at Atlantic. Right? Look at what Atlantic actually is. That's private equity. That's private equity moved towards a listing. The thing didn't even need an IPO. The thing was guaranteed from the jump.
Yeah.
The man makes yourself bread butter both sides.
Both sides indeed.
Yeah, but all the back too. But look at Tyrone. I'm sure Tyrone would have loved to capitalize on the ICE situation or do what he's doing with the sign company and all of that stuff. But him don't have the funding, so the less money him have to work hard. Him have to work in the face of people laughing at him, which is hard, I'm sure. But say, you chose to jump into the arena, so you face it. But love him or hating the man doing it, and not many other people doing it. So imagine him 5 years from now having gone through the fire with funding and saying, hey, I'm still doing what I'm doing. He's turned the company into an investment company. I think I'm going to that's also another interesting, but we've been talking for so long, I don't want to go into too much. It's just there's lots of interesting things happening on the market. The market not dead.
So much.
It's just, there's so much profit being made on the market. So it's just, some of us have learned not to talk about it as much publicly anymore. Just make it stay. But the market nice and continues to get nicer. Point that should clear up earlier. You said it, Theon, and as one thing too. JBG is not part of the collateral for MJ.
No, there's a separate loan. Not the June one, There was another one. It was me that said it.
Oh, okay.
There was an initial, I think it was January. There was like they borrowed money in January, and then I think they borrowed money in June. The June one is separate. The January one, I think that's privately. But in the same documents, I don't know if you have it up. In the, I think it's like this one of the pages, it shows you like they pledged some other shares.
Yeah, that it's part of that. They have,
I think they pledged Broilers, CPJ.
The 2024 fixed rate notes had 25 million JBG in it, but it's a 2024 notes. No, sorry, it's issued in 2024, January 2024, the MJE fixed rate notes. The driver is going to do what's best for the driver. I don't doubt that the driver is going to do what's best for the driver. So I don't doubt that there is 25 million units. I don't doubt that there is a limit that the shares will probably not be allowed to fall below, because it'll be in their best interest to get it if it's below that interest, right? And
especially like maybe end of year.
Yeah, or whenever. Shout out to Tryon and those guys who made a lot of money.
It could be a stocks watch this quarter then.
Almost certainly. For me personally to enter, I would want to see more overreaction. Even though the price rate is now, you could bank on that as a bit of an overreaction. But because I know that there's news to come,